Good evening, gentle ladies and men, if you have men in our midst. Hi, Christy. Good evening, everybody. So wonderful to be here. Hello, everyone. I'm waving at everybody. Hello, everybody. So good to be here this evening. So I welcome you all to day 2 of the GLAL Virtual Summit. I'm sure some of us might be wondering what GLAL stands for. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I just got notified that I was muted all along. So I just said, welcome to day 2 of the GLAL Virtual Summit. And the GLAL stands for the Girls and Leads Virtual Summit. So I'd like to know, I'd like us to introduce ourselves in the chat box. Please use the chat box, introduce yourself. Let me know where you're joining from. My name is Ugochi Joseph, and I'm joining from Lagos, Shongotedo. So please, let's introduce ourselves in the chat box. Can you all hear me, please? Can we introduce ourselves, please? I'd like to meet every one of you. I'd like to meet every one of us. Let's know your name and where you're joining us from. My name is Ugochi Joseph, and I'm the moderator for tonight's session. So please, let's make use of the chat room, introduce yourself, tell us where you're joining from. Hi, Stella Maris. Interesting. Stella Maris, your name is such a very beautiful name. Nice to meet you, Stella Maris. You're joining from Lekki. Yes, thank you. Hello, Ivory. You're joining from Lagos. Yes, I'm excited about it too. Yesterday was amazing. Amazing session yesterday. And I'm so excited about day 2 as well. I can't wait to, dig in already. Yeah, so please let's introduce ourselves. Yeah, keep the introduction coming, please. I'm waiting. We are waiting for you that hasn't introduced yourself yet. We are waiting. Please come in, introduce yourself. Tell us where you're joining from. Would like to meet you. Would like to know you. Please come in, tell us where you're joining from. Your name and where you're joining from, please. Oh. Hi, Ugoma. Yes. Hi, good to meet you, ma'am. Good to meet you. You're joining from Ogudu. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us on tonight's session. So good to have you here, ma'am. Hi, Christy. You're joining from LBS. Great. Christy from LBS, thank you for joining us today. Would also like to get feedback from yesterday's session. I'll give my own feedback because yesterday's session was just it. It was explosive. It was insightful. So when I saw the topic, can someone tell me the topic, yesterday's topic? Can someone remind us of yesterday's topic? Hi, Ekelemchi. Let me see where you're joining us from. Ekelemchi is joining us from Ekelemchi Okafor, and she's joining us from Lagos, Shongotedo. Yes, you're excited about it too. I am too. I'm excited about it too. Welcome, Ekelemchi. Good to have you on tonight's session. So I'll be pleased to get a reminder on yesterday's topic. Can someone tell me what we discussed yesterday? What the topic was for yesterday? I'd like to get feedback from even what we took out. What was our key takeaway from yesterday's session? But let me even first of all let me know if we still remember what we discussed. What was the topic of yesterday's session? Can someone drop in the chat box, please, 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 please? Yesterday's topic, what did we discuss yesterday? Anyone? Yesterday's session. Don't tell me we've all forgotten. It's not possible. Yesterday was too remarkable. We can't even forget. I'm waiting. Okay, you know what? I'll just go first. I'll go first. So yesterday we discussed, the topic for yesterday was securing the future through the power of vision. Hi, Chama, good to have you. Hi, Chama, I see you. Good to have you here. Oh, Chama is joining us from Yaba. Amazing. Hi, Chama, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. So yesterday's topic was securing the future through the power of vision. And so I'd like to get feedback from what our key takeaways from yesterday's discussion. Yesterday's discussion was mind-blowing. It was very insightful. I can't even begin to discuss it. It was just so amazing. I was like, please, can this session not end? It just had to end eventually, but it was amazing. Trust me. I hope you didn't miss out on yesterday's session. Please, I'd like to get feedback. Just drop in the chat box. Let me know what your key takeaways were from yesterday's session. Yeah, and I'll just read out from the chat box. Key takeaways from yesterday's session. We are waiting for you. I don't want to believe that none of us were present yesterday. Oh, that's not possible. That is not possible. Okay, so maybe I'll just say a little bit of what I took out yesterday. So some key points. I'll just just pick on some few points that I noted down yesterday. So part of what we discussed yesterday was basically our vision, and then your purpose as a person. Everyone has a purpose. Even before you came to this earth, God made you, and then He had a purpose for you even before He brought you into this earth. And so part of what the speaker yesterday touched on, so she mentioned that you are designed to perform best in that place where God has called you to be. You're designed to perform best, not in somewhere else, not in a place where you think that you're supposed to fit in. In that place where God has called you to be, that is where you are designed to perform best. And then when you walk outside of God's vision for your life, you are setting yourself up for a fall. So first of all, you need to know what is God's vision for your life, and when you find that out, you walk in that path that God has called you to be, right? So that is part of what we talked about yesterday. She also mentioned that when God gives us a vision, we also need to maybe go back to Him in the place of prayer, ask for clarity. And we do that through the help of the Holy Spirit. We ask for clarity. We need to ask questions. And also, God has not given us a vision or called us and given us a big vision and say, okay, you know what, you single-handedly take care of this. He expects us to engage, relationship, engage people, to help us, carry out that vision. Not necessarily you doing it all by yourself. Most of the time, I remember she mentioned something and she says that God actually, the vision that God gives you most of the time is always bigger than what you can imagine. It's always bigger. It's not as minute as what your small head is thinking about. It's usually very big, and then you're asking yourself, how can I achieve this all by myself? Most often, God doesn't give us a vision to handle on our own. He expects us to engage the relationship of other people, leverage relationship. That is why he has placed people around us, so that we can use those people, we can work with people, in order to actualize that thing that he has set ahead of us. Yeah, so I think that was like, a few things that I took out that I noted down in my journal. So I would like us to also, state what we took out from yesterday's event. So please just drop in the chat box what your feedback from yesterday was, before we then invite our guest for tonight. And after that, I would like to know if anyone knows what topic for discussion is tonight. So please, your feedback. Let's make this space lively. Please, 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 please. I'd like to get everybody, make this session very, very interactive. Hello, people. Can you all hear me? Why do I feel like you can't hear me? Can you hear me, please? Hello. Okay, someone is in the chat box. Oh, you can hear me. Okay. Okay, so you know what? I'd like to know, does any of us know what the topic for discussion is tonight? So I'll just take it that, most of us were not around yesterday. And so my own feedback is fine for everybody. Yes, building a career in tech. Mwah. Thank you, Christy. Building a career in tech. Yeah. Yes, yes. And if you're a tech enthusiast like me, I'm sure you're really excited to be here tonight. So in no time, we'll be welcoming our guest speaker for tonight. And so I'll just read up a bit of her profile. It's so amazing to have her here join us in tonight's session. So amazing. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and then I'll read up her profile, and then she will start up in a few minutes. Okay, so our topic for discussion, as Christy has rightly said, is building a career in tech. And our speaker for tonight is none other than Ugoma Deborah Ogo. She is a software developer, a project director of HSC Community Digital Skills Program, Nigeria. She's an experienced project engineer with over 10 years of experience in electrical engineering, IT, and energy consultancy. The IEEE Students Activities Chairperson, Nigeria section. That's huge. A global ambassador for the Society of Women Engineers. Gone are those days where they feel like women cannot be an engineer. A woman cannot do what a man is doing. See a woman now. She's a global ambassador for the Society of Women Engineers, a proctor of IE Extreme 24-hour coding competition globally, former National Secretary of YALI RLC Alumni Nigeria, alumna of Africa Women Entrepreneurship Cooperative AWEC. This is huge. Global STEM Ambassador, IEEE. Regional Entrepreneurship Award winning ambassador of IEE. Even me, Steph, I'm like, wow, this is big. She's a member of Women in Engineering Upwell Nigeria, and National Secretary of Power and Energy Society, PES Nigeria, a STEM mentor for women and youths with a focus on practical mentorship process. She's also the co-founder of Systematic Learning Solutions, a company centered on creating local content materials for learning in children. She's the project director of Women Entrepreneurship Mentoring Program, WEMP. She's also a recipient of the STEM Activator Project for girls in secondary school in 2019, and currently pursuing a more advanced career in technology. She is a technical content writer with focus on emerging technologies. She's a serial community development volunteer with projects centered on women and youth for over 15 years. Oh my goodness, this is huge. This is beyond amazing. This is really big. So please, let's put a round of applause for Miss Goma. Let's put a round of applause, please, in the chat box. Good to have you here, ma. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm amazed. Like, your profile is mind-blowing. Like, you're doing big things, you're doing great things. And so we can't wait to hear you speak tonight. We can't wait to gain from your wealth of knowledge. We are so sure that today will be mind-blowing, really. Yay! Yes, 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 yes. Keep the applause coming, please. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. So over to you, ma'am. We'd love to hear from you tonight.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Coach, you've overhyped me. I don't know where to start. I don't know. You just overhyped me, and I'm wondering where I'm going to start from. I don't know. Okay. The CV, the profile, leave it aside. It's just for documentation. Just me that is here. So this is me. Do you need to see my face? Is it okay to? I don't know. Let me see. Okay. Okay. I don't know. Can you see my face?
Yes, we can, ma. You can see your face.
Yeah, it's night, so I don't know why I'm looking. If I'm not looking fresh, sorry, it's night. This is getting to 7:30, so you don't need me to do a makeup, please. I wouldn't do that. I've had a serious day. Yeah, it's good to be in our midst. Good evening, beautiful women. I can see we've had a great time the past day and all that. Yeah, it's an exciting time. Whenever I'm in the midst of women, I have some kind of, I feel cool, I feel welcomed, I feel at home. And I feel it's another opportunity for us to talk like, our fellow women, talk to ourselves. I'm not a lecturer, I'm not a teacher, so I might not be able to do that kind of lecturing work. But what I usually do, I engage fellow women in discussion. Okay, the profile, yeah, is there, just there. So don't mind it. Let's talk. Let's get to business. Okay, so it's good to meet you, Chioma, Christy, Ekelemchi, Stella Maris, Ima, and every other person I'm trying to scroll through, I can't see it, and the hosts for inviting me to your program. It's an exciting time, and quickly, let's go into business. Yeah, okay, starting a career in tech. That's one broad topic I've been thinking of where to look through and what to start about. But sometimes when people ask me, how do you build a career in tech? I tell them, just start from where you are. If you're a graduate, if you're a student, if you're married, if you're single, if you're not doing anything, if you're employed, if you're unemployed, whatever stage you are at the point in time, please start from there. And first of all, I'd like to share my experience. I'm married with children. I have a work. I've been working for 10 years in different sectors and currently in tech. And the beautiful thing is that I don't have a house help. I don't have anyone yet. I run around most of the things I do with myself, though my kids are not small really, but that doesn't mean that I don't pay attention. But so if me at this point in my life, I am still pursuing my career in tech, then everybody can do it. So where do you start? First of all, having the interest. You know, the whole world out there, everybody's, you know, there's this frenzy thing of techie, techie, tech. Everybody is going techie. And I ask myself, okay, so let's just cool down. What exactly is happening in the world out there? For example, going into tech is not because the world is driving you. Number one, you need to ask yourself, what do I need to learn? What am I interested in? What am I curious about? What is that area that I want to really understand what works? Like the tech world is like an ocean. You can't go around it. It's impossible. So when you talk about tech is like a broad word. It's a broad sector, very broad. Not like medicine is broad, but tech is beyond medicine. Why? Because everything we do as human beings in the world presently is controlled by tech. For us being here, whatever you do at home, using your devices, your businesses, your learning, everything, even on the road, some things are automated. It's done by tech. Even for you to have access to healthcare, it's tech. Everything, even in the churches, technology has made it easier for us. So you ask yourself, so what exactly is this tech all about? And where do I start? Now, I'm a software developer, is one bit out of the world of technology. In technology, there are different aspects. We have the design, we have those who are marketers, we have those who develop content, we have those who design products, we have those who write about tech. They're also in the tech world. We have those who are in different areas, but the most important thing is having a drive, a passion. Don't let people push you, but develop the passion by yourself so that you can be able to be relevant and be happy with what you are doing. Some people are marketers. They identify trends in the tech world and they go into it. They call them digital marketers. There are people who help you to push your products into the larger world using technology. They are not actually in the core aspect, but they're implementing technology for it. Then for you, what do you need to start with? Number one, your passion. If you are not passionate about something, it becomes a burden. If you don't have interest and drive in it, it becomes a challenge. It becomes strenuous. It becomes, you drag along the way. So most times when people start, I tell them, it's not about starting. You have to ensure that you have the same drive and energy to keep moving. And secondly, you have to be disciplined. Because why do I bring in the word discipline? Technology is evolving each day. Things keep changing and adding. So if you don't discipline yourself to remain focused, to keep learning, to be consistent, your knowledge becomes obsolete and you cannot go beyond that. That is number two. So number one is, if you're not passionate about it, it becomes a burden. Secondly, you have to be disciplined. If I tell you how I spend my time, you will know that it's beyond just being in the tech industry. I have time I develop to learning. I learn every day. I do my work every day. I keep reviewing what I'm doing. And also know that your network, the people around you, if you're into tech and 3/4 of your friends are those into fashion, are those into something else that is totally unrelated to what you're interested in, you become like a lone person in their midst. You become different because you wouldn't have people that share the same idea with you. I'm not saying that you should leave your friends. No. Learn to identify with a community of people that share the same interest in what you are looking at. Go online. There are online communities. There you will get informed. There you ask questions. Then the third thing or the fourth thing I want to let you know is that curiosity. Your interest, your passion, your willingness to learn. Be curious to ask questions. See, nobody is above asking questions. Nobody. Nobody knows it all. Even as big as Mark Zuckerberg is, he has a team and he asks them questions. So who are you not to ask? Don't feel if I ask questions, they will answer me. Fine and good. If they don't answer you, It doesn't matter. You keep moving. You have to keep asking, because in asking, you know, there are people, trust me, the tech world is very big and people are ready to support you in terms of giving you guidance based on experience on how to start. I'm not here to share totally about going into software development because it's one out of it. Whatever I'm sharing with you applies to every aspect of technology. You might not have studied anything related to tech in your school, or you're not even studying that, or it's not even part of your core area of studies or educational focus. It doesn't matter. Most of the people, I've seen a doctor who is a cybersecurity expert. Yes, I've seen a doctor who is a design, a product designer in tech. I've seen a doctor who is a developer, a big time developer. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't stop you either. But the most important thing is for you to know that, number one, you have to be passionate about what you're doing. You have to be focused, discipline yourself. You can't just throw it in today, tomorrow you come back and say, okay, so where did I stop? You lose interest. It's just like driving. When you learn how to drive, you have to keep driving for that knowledge to be fresh in you. Else, when you pick up the car key to drive, it looks as if you are starting all over. You'll be wondering, okay, so where's the gear? Where's the brake? Where's all this? Where's that? You start asking because you need to start refreshing your mind on what you've learned before, which you are not practicing. That is what happens in the tech industry. So it's not just to start. You have to keep moving and not stop. But remember too, there are times when you have to give yourself a break. It's important. You don't overwork yourself. So you're not competing with anybody. You are on a journey. So when you feel you're overwhelmed, it's too much on you, pull out a little bit, relax, refreshing your mind and go back to it is allowed. But don't be disconnected totally, because when you come back, you are starting all over almost. Then another thing is that you have to know that there are times when it doesn't make sense. There are times some things you do, it's not adding up. It's not even going as you planned. You are like, okay, so it's not working. Yes, at times it won't work. It will totally fail. Yes, it will fail. You might start on a path and you discover that it's not working for you, and you are truthful to yourself that it's not working. You can change your path. Some people have started as some aspect of technology, and over time they shifted to another side. It's allowed. It's welcomed. Do you get? So when it's not working, you are a human being. So don't bite yourself about it. Sit down and ask, okay, so what can I do to make it work? That is why you need a network of people. You need a community of people where you can reach out and ask questions. So you can see some of these skills are interrelated. You can't do one without the other. If you're not passionate, you wouldn't know how to ask questions. You won't know how to keep moving. So these are some of the things you need to start with. Then be able to research. Nobody is going to bring the information to your doorstep every now and then. We all have smartphones. We all have devices that we use for different purposes. Sit down, search the internet. Ask, find out things. Be curious. If you want to learn about something, a word you've heard in tech, and you want to know more about it, an area of technology, go to online, search for Google, and you'll see amazing answers you get. Sometimes when people speak to you, you'll be wondering, how is this person able to know all this? It's because the person is informed. Your level of information and knowledge is what makes you different from the other person. Is what you know that makes you different. So for you to thrive in tech, you must be able to ask questions and start searching. You have to start looking for what you need to know. Ask. When you dig deep, you keep digging until you don't get to the end. In Google, we have millions and billions of resources for you. So ask me, can you ever exhaust them? No, it's impossible. So you should be able to develop that mind of being curious, researching, asking questions, seeking to know knowledge, bridge that knowledge gap. Don't wait for it. Go out there, watch YouTube videos. And then if you're going for a core area in tech, you have to go and start asking how you learn these courses, learn this area, learn these skills. Sometimes few people are gifted with the ability to learn by themselves and others are not. So if you know that you cannot learn by yourself, you have to go for a proper training for you to get the knowledge, the basic knowledge. What some people study in school for 5 years, computer science, people learn it in 1 year or less. Yes, especially with our standard of education in Nigeria. I've seen people that study computer science and they still don't know how to do programming or how to do data, manage data, data analysis. data science and all that. But somebody can sit down in 1 year or less and learn the foundation. So that's why to tell you that it's not just the degree that makes it the difference, it's your ability and your dedication to learning. And as women, we often get distracted easily. Well, it's not our fault. We are built that way. Too many things on our mind. We want to take care of our hair. We want to take care of our looks. We want to meet our friends. We have this to go, what we wear. So too many things creep into our mind, and we're often distracted because we need to attend to some other things. It's natural. But don't let that distraction drift you away from the main thing, because if you look out there, you see amazing women doing great things in tech. So if they can do it, you can do it. And then don't belittle yourself. That's the problem. I've had an opportunity to mentor young women, and I've discovered that there's this thing about self-esteem that is our problem. Well, it's not peculiar to women, but I'm addressing us at this point in time. You feel you're not good enough. Nobody is good enough. I'm not good enough. You're not. But we are trying. Do you understand? Don't feel you're not good enough. How can I do it? Oh, this person, she's doing so well. She has done this. Excuse me. You are not the same. Your destiny is not the same with that person. So stop it. Sit down and look inwards. You are gifted. Do you understand? If you start identifying and appreciating that gift in you, you know that you can actually go into this area and thrive in it. I would have told us, if I couldn't share my screen, I would have told us 6 women presently, young women below 35, who are co-founders of major tech companies in Nigeria. I'm not talking of the levels of Ibukunle, Awosika, and the rest. No, I'm talking of young girls. So if they could actually do it, so what is limiting you is yourself. Stop listening to that voice that tell you can't do it. Start, just start. If you're able to break that jinx of starting, sit down, discipline yourself and ask questions. Write a plan, set a target, tell yourself from now till next year, I need to learn this. You might not learn it at the same time, but if you see that you're making impact, your drive increases, your passion increases, and then your commitment level goes up. You need mentors too to need to talk with you. As I am, I have people I talk with. So don't feel I don't have a mentor or somebody. We all have it. But when you have a mentor, then know that, okay, fine, why do I need this mentor for? Can I be able to get something? Then mentorship, like I also tell people, is not just one way, it's a two-way thing. If someone is out to mentor you, then be willing to dedicate time to respond to it. Do you understand? So going to tech demands that you develop some certain personal skills along the way. It's not just the technical skill we quote. If everybody has this set of technical skills and we don't have the personal skills that we need to make it interesting and try for us, then the world will be a boring place because nobody will have any other thing to offer apart from what will be seen on the screen. Then you also know that you have to start, discovering what you need to do with those skills. It's not just to learn them. That is our problem now. They keep telling you go into tech, say for what? There are problems to be solved, and technology is overriding most of these things. So how do you fit into in the next 10 years? Most of the jobs we have will be taken over by automated systems. Go to the banks now. If you go to the bank and enter that first cashier outlet, sometimes you see 1 or 2 persons. Why? Because their roles have been taken over by mobile banking. And people develop this mobile banking, and it's managed by people like you and I, young men and women. So you see the job roles keep shifting. In medicine now, very soon, they will have I think in Germany, there is a new technology that makes it possible for you to carry out a surgery with automated system. So if in a surgery room, they need 50 people, very soon they'll need just 5. Before you know it, it's only the doctor and the nurse. So what happens to the others? These roles have been taken over by technology. Well, we thank God for the knowledge. Yes, the world keeps moving and all that, but we shouldn't wait for it. We have to keep moving along the way. Then there are things you need to know that you might not just be able to go into tech if you are not interested. Excuse me. Then another thing that is very, very important is for us to know that whatever thing you need to do in future, your knowledge of technology is going to make it easy for you. Our parents are even learning about technology. So most of our parents are learning how to use smartphones, how to send and receive messages. These are all programs people wrote. These are automated, instructions, things that people designed to make life easy for us. Who told you that you can sit down in your house and buy something in another country and it's delivered at your doorstep? Who told you? Who told you that you can actually sit down and make transactions without going? I've not been to the bank in the past 6 months. I think it's only once when I went to pick up a document, and this document, I can actually pick it by downloading it or somebody sending it. You see the point now? So when we tell you need to understand the importance of technology in your everyday life and how you can key into it as a young woman and how you can ensure that you learn some skills that are relevant to you, is to show you that the world is evolving. It's moving. So start now and sit down and ask yourself, how do I fit into all these that are changing? And not being carried away too, because you can be carried away by all the changes and you lose focus along the way. So if you're able to identify these personal skills that are relevant for you, you'll be able to thrive in the world of technology. It's not rocket science, but let me tell you one thing, the road is bumpy. Yeah, the road is bumpy. It's going to be stressful. It's not fun always. You have it bittersweet. Some days your energy level is high, sometimes it's low, sometimes you just get disconnected. You don't even know what you are doing. Sometimes it's not working, and sometimes you smile and feel proud about yourself. That's all sums the journey of everybody going into technology. Some people might not tell you how tough it is. They'll share the beautiful stories with you, but you need to learn that in every path you choose, it's not always rosy. Even the Bible made it know that the road to heaven is not easy, but you have to keep and persist about it. So you can see nothing comes that easy. So don't feel that it's all a bed of roses. It won't be. But your interest, your passion, your willingness, your dedication, your mindset, your zeal, your commitment, your discipline, and the right set of people you have around you is all you need to start. And you can start now. So when you go back, there are other aspects. Sit down and search the internet and find out the area of technology you want to go. But if you're interested in going to software development, it's very broad. It's very broad. I wouldn't talk about it. It's more technical. It's all about programming. Zoom was written with a language. It's a program language that makes it possible for you to click in and have a video. And so, like every other thing, WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, TikTok, they're all written by program languages that carry out instructions. So you can see the world needs every other person to survive. So if you were able to start now, but don't force yourself on it. Sit down and identify where you can fit into. And believe me, if you pick up some of these personal skills, getting the technical skills become easy for you because your mind is in what you are doing. But remember, you have to tell yourself the truth and talk to your inner self to start. Yeah, thank you. I think I've done justice to it. And like I said, I'm not a lecturer, so I just had to bring in this aspect of it. You expected me to talk about programming language, this and that. No, you don't need that. I wouldn't do that. I need to tell us what has helped me in life and is helping me till tomorrow. So if it worked for me, worked for every other person I've known, it can work for you if you only abide by it and work through it. Thank you very much, Gochi, and everyone. I think I'm done talking, and I've done the part I can. So I don't know if you have any question or something.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. As you were speaking, I was taking notes, on some point that you've spoken. You talked about the world evolving, and then we need to how do we fit in? We need to look at what our areas of interest are, and then probably even, do some research, on that. And then, where we want to focus on, we focus on that. And then we build a community of like-minded people around us, not when you're trying to be in the tech space or you have an interest in tech space and then you're building relationship with people in the fashion space. Of course, you can have friends in those spaces, right? But then you need to build a network of people, because at the end of the day, it's that relationship that would help you to build on your interest, and then you become what you want to become eventually. So we'll take questions from our audience. I think we have one question in the chat box, so I'll just read that out now. So this question is from Ivy, and she says, what are the different areas of specialization in tech? And also, okay, so we'll take one at a time. What are the different areas of specialization in tech? So the question is directed to you.
Okay, what are the different areas of specialization in tech? We have more than 50, 100, name it. But let me start from somewhere. We have different areas of technology like software development. We have data analysis. We have digital marketing. We have project manager. We have IT specialists. We have network administrator. We have search engine optimization specialists who help you to ensure that your product is identified when you go online and search, where can I buy the best Ankara? Do you know there's one site that pops up first? It's some people that did that. It didn't happen with like magic. They call them search engine optimization specialists. We have technical writers who write about technology, who research about technology, who write about technology. We have those in cybersecurity. We have content marketing manager who help you to push your product. They help you to manage the online presence of your company. When you see people who are, if you go to Instagram, you see some products, it's not the owner really most times that manages. They have a manager who is in charge of pushing it, ensuring that you yourself that is a follower, you are addicted to it. Somebody is doing that. It's not them, and they are paid for it. You have data analysts, those who analyze data and bring out ideas. Maybe for Jumia, let me say, for example, Jumia, they have 500 products, but they want to know the kind of product that sells most. It's a data analyst that helps them to do that. So they end up focusing more on those products to drive revenue. That is an aspect of technology. We have software engineers like us. We develop applications. We have mobile app designed by software engineers. We have web app. And these people, when you go online and go to, let's say, GT Bank Online, they help you design in such a way that you can log into your account. When you have your phone, you can go into the app and make transactions. It's done by software engineers. We have those who are hackers. They help you to manage the security of your system. We have the user interface designers who make it, when you go to a website, you're like, wow, this website looks beautiful. Somebody designed it. Yeah, that's their job. We have the information architects. They help you. They are like part of the people that work to ensure that a company's information and product is well organized. And the list is endless. We have it's numerous. We have digital marketers. We have where do I start? It's numerous. That's why I said these are some of the key top areas. That doesn't mean that some other areas are not important. But with the demand, there are some. When you have a list, you have those that are the first 10 and others follow. So these ones I mentioned are actually part of them. Project manager too is a very important aspect of technology. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. So we have lots of questions in the chat box. I think the people want you to go to really go into. I think people want to really go in. So there's another question here, and it says, what's the difference between content writing and copyright? Content writing and copyright.
Content copywriting, it has to do with legal implication of a company. Copyright is different. It's totally different. When you say copyright, let's say you have a product. Let's say not a digital product. Let's say, for example, Two-Face has a program he's running, and someone copies exactly the same thing and replicates it online too. He's stealing from the owner of their content. So what do? You protect your business through legal agreements. So that is why when you see a program or a product or something, the right under is protected by copyright. So if tomorrow they find somebody doing exactly what they are doing, they can sue you. That is what copyright is, because you stole their information and their content. The person is backing it up legally. In case if it happens, the person has the right to sue you. If you are using the person's brand name, person's brand product, and all that, that is the legal thing. It has nothing to do with them. And content writing means, okay, you call copyright and content writing, Abby?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, is writing about a subject matter. That is what content writing is. You are experienced in a subject matter. Let's say you write about politics, or you write about technology, or you write about health. You are a content writer in that sector. You are well read. You are vast in it. You are knowledgeable about it. So you can sit down, write something in such a way that a reader will understand. That is why when you see some articles, it makes so much sense to you because it's written by a professional content writer. So those two things are different. Yeah, but they sound alike. Okay.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, don't just that. Okay, so the next question is the next question says, what is program design all about? What is program design all about?
Is called programming. Programming is all about giving the computer a set of instructions and let the computer carry out what you said. Computer obeys everything you write. That is why when you write the wrong thing, it tells you error, because that is not what it was told to do. So when you say programming, it's all about using a language. For example, let me give you an example. In Nigeria, we have over 100 languages. But when you say good morning in Yoruba, a Yoruba person understands. When you say good morning in Igbo, an Igbo person understands. When you say good morning in Hausa, an Igbo person will not understand. If it does not understand the language, it will be like, so what I say, the same thing the computer does. So when you program an instruction in a certain way, the computer agrees to that program you've written, and when it's executing it, is obeying the instruction you say. For example, let me give you a simple example. If most of us bank with some banks, and when you use their mobile app, you see where they say login. It has been programmed that when you put your login, because you've created an account, you write your name, you write your password. You remember when you were creating your account, you wrote a password you remember. But once you put on a wrong password, the app tells you error. It will not allow you, because that is not what it was accepted. It has been programmed that you, Ugochi, will only have one password at the same time. If you change your password, the computer must be told. You can't just wake up and start writing a new password. Then in programming, you know that there are over 50 languages in programming. The computer is like a device. Okay, just feed me whatever you want. You've designed it with the language that if you say good morning in Yoruba, a Yoruba person will reply the same way. That is what the computer does. If you write a set of instructions in a certain program, the computer responds to it when you give it information that correlates with the program you've written. So in programming, we have JavaScript is a language, we have Python, we have Java, we have C++, we have React. They are all parts of, they are all programming languages that the computer welcomes. These programming languages have been designed by somebody. And what are we doing? We are using it as a set of instructions to write a solution for people. That is what programming language is all about. So for me, I know some languages. I don't know every language. It's impossible to know every language. Not possible. So I know some languages. I know Python. I know JavaScript. So I can use it to write a set of instructions. Like Zoom was written with JavaScript. That is why when you log in, it allows you click on video, click on record, click on this. These are all set of instructions that have been written for you. So when you are going to programming language, choose a language you can learn. You don't need to learn every language. What is applicable to one language is also applicable to another language. The only thing is that how it's written how it's spoken in terms of writing is what, but what differs is the language, but what you've done is you've done what you've written. So that is it. So do we have any other question? I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm having network issues. So do you have any other questions?
Yes, we have some other questions. I'll just quickly read them out. Okay, so the next question says, what course do you recommend for someone interested in building apps to undertake? So for someone interested in building apps, what course can they take?
Okay, if you are going into building apps, that means you are becoming a mobile developer. You are going into mobile developer. So I recommend you go and learn Flutter. Go and learn Flutter. Go and learn React Native. These two things, you are good to go. Learn Flutter and go and learn React Native. You're good to go. Yeah.
Okay. So our next question says, what 3 top tech skills can you advise a lady trying to venture into the tech space for business to earn? What 3 top tech skills can you advise a lady trying to venture? I'm sure this lady is trying to venture into the tech space, so she needs.
Okay, you want to market your skills. You want to, and yeah, that's the whole idea. You can't just learn a skill and pocket it. What will you do with it? So I think if you go become a developer, either web developer or mobile developer, the demand is high. It is high. One. Then secondly, you can become a product designer or go into, well, the demand is there. Digital marketing is good, but it's not enough because the job for it doesn't come regular. Then go into data. The job demand for data analyst is high because everybody is going into technology and people are looking for how to ensure that they manage their digital presence. So they need a data analyst to help them, even in corporate organizations and individuals. Learn programming 1, learn data 2. Programming can be mobile or web, learn either of them. And then learn a little bit about technical writing. You can be earning some change on your own. Technical writing. When I say technical writing, writing about an area of technology, something that you well read about, learn about it and write about it. Yeah. These are 3 areas. Every other one is important. But for me, as a developer, I'm also a technical writer. So I can design websites, I can design different things, not just websites. It's different from, let me correct one impression. A developer, web developer, is different from someone who uses WordPress. If you learn how to design website with WordPress, you are not a web developer because what you just learn is how to copy and paste. But if you are becoming a web developer, means you are writing the code by yourself. You can understand what you wrote. You can change it, modify it, scrap it, start afresh, and you can be able to make it interactive. Though, if you learn about WordPress, so when someone tells you, come and learn web design, it's different from becoming a web developer. Because when a web developer, what he does is he designs how your web look, what it's going to do, work with the back end and work with the different people. So it's very technically deep. So there are 2 different things. In case if you hear people tell you, come and pay 10,000 naira to learn how to design website, you're not a web developer. The only thing you learned is how to design website. You can be earning with it, but that doesn't make you a developer because that's where it ends, nothing new. Until you'll be waiting for them to design something new again for you to work on. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so let me ask this question, Ma. So, and on average, how long would it take for you to become a web developer if you want to be one?
Constant learning, 6 months. Learning at intervals, 1 year. But that constant learning means practice, practice, practice. You can't just learn. Trust me, even in 3 months, you can start. But if you are not practicing, you're not growing. Even 1 year, you are still not practicing, you're not growing. Then our ability differs. Our speed in learning differs. So that one is also a factor. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm happy that you mentioned the programming language, because when you talked about languages, I've always heard of programming language. I'm happy that you had to, list out some of these languages. So of these languages, right, of the JavaScript, Python, all of that you mentioned, which would you say is the easiest to learn?
Sorry, there, none, but it's all good to learn. Nothing is easy. Nothing. No, hell there. Nothing is easy. But the mother language that you can use on everything is Python, followed by JavaScript. Python is like a universal language used in programming, in data analysis, in machine learning, in artificial intelligence, in robotics, in automation, in anything. Python it has been existing for more than 20 years and is still relevant till next 20 years, unless Jesus comes. Yeah. So that's it.
Good advice. Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Ma.
Thank you.
Session has been
Yeah,
insightful.
thank you. I really have another meeting. It's been back to back. I don't know. The kids are somewhere looking at me. Oh, it's their bedtime. So we need to go and settle them. But it's an interesting time and I'm always open. Those who are really, if you want to go into tech, I need more guidance, always reach out. I'll be available through your coordinator. I'm always available to help guide you. Yeah, I will always be there. So reach out to me and let's talk over it any other time. So she'll connect you with me if you're interested.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you
Thank you.
so much. We are really, really grateful for showing up tonight. We are so grateful.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
interesting.
you all. Thank
so
you.
They're appreciating you in the chat room.
Thank you all. Thank you, ladies. Thank
you so much for your presence.
Thank you. I'm grateful to have
you.
Thank you too. Thank you. So I think I'll take my leave. Am I allowed to do that so that I can?
Of course you are.
Yeah.
So someone says she's considering learning a tech skill.
Just come and knock on my door. We'll talk about it.
I definitely have to reach out to you.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you, and thank you for coming on tonight's session. Thank you, Ma.
You're welcome. All right. Have a lovely evening. Good night.
Yes, Ma. You too. Yes. Okay, so that was Mrs. Deborah Uguma on tonight's session. And I'm sure we had an amazing time. This is day 2 of the Girls Learn and Lead Summit. I'm sure we all had an amazing time. You can turn on your microphone and maybe scream and say thank you and say, maybe speak on what you learned on tonight's session, 1 or 2 things that you probably grasped from tonight's session. You can unmute and then just chip in 1 or 2 things. Otherwise, we call it a night. I hope some of us, when she said languages, we didn't think it was Yoruba, Igbo, or Hausa language. So now we are clear that, JavaScript, Python. Okay, now you guys can unmute. Okay. So we are clear on the different programming languages that we have, right? So yes. Really interesting. Tonight's session was amazing. So don't forget to follow us on our social media pages. This session was brought to you by YSIPS, Youth Sculptured in Palace Style Foundation. Follow us on our social media pages. Be present for tomorrow's session. Tomorrow's session is going to be another amazing session. We have a powerhouse coming tomorrow to speak to us and another amazing, interesting topic. So please invite as many people as you can invite. Invite your friends, your family members, your girlfriends, invite as many people as you can invite and let them come and learn what we are learning. Let them come and, let their minds be open to you cannot learn enough. Learning continues. Learning is a constant process. So invite as many people as you can. Follow us on our social media pages. We'll share the application form for the 2022 YSIPS Mentoring Academy. So if you've been part of our academy, mentoring academy this year, I'm sure you've learned a lot. I'm sure you've grown. I'm sure you've moved from that place where you were last year to where you are now. And I'm sure that one or two persons who are also teenagers, young adults, who would love to be a part of this, or who you would love to be a part of this, so that they can also, benefit just as you've benefited as well. So we have the people who are eligible to apply at the teens category are 12 to 19 years, while the youth category from 20 to 35 years. So it's not just about the teenagers, even young women, young adults are also welcome to apply for the 2022 YSIPS Mentoring Academy. So we'll call it we'll end tonight's session here. Yes, let me not speak the one that's more than my mouth. So we'll end tonight's session here. So glad to have you all on tonight's session, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow promises to be amazing. So hope to see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining tonight. Stay blessed and have a wonderful night. Good night.